Okay, so now you're ready to sign up and submit your studio. When you get to the dashboard page by going to studio.com/dashboard, you'll be brought over to this login page if you're not already logged in. Go ahead and log in by clicking sign in with Google or submitting your email and password. Or if you don't have an account, you can always go ahead and create a new account and submit your information and do it like so. I strongly suggest you use sign up with Google just so you don't have to handle verification, and if you ever lose your password, it can be easily recovered because it's your Google account. And then go ahead and click sign up if you don't have an account already. Select the email that you're going to use. And then the first time when you log in or create an account, you're going to be brought to this page where you get to select your music taste. This isn't really important. It's just for your personal profile. So you can select like the genres that you're into and click continue. Once you get to the dashboard, you'll see this option over here where it says to get started. In order to get your studio submitted, you have to click this button, which is going to bring you to the application page, and then you'll have to fill up all this information. You have 6 steps to do. First, the general info, features, rules, pricing, locations, and then photos. In order to get to the next step, you have to fill in the current step. So get started by submitting a studio name. And for this studio, I'm going to give some dummy information. So for example, Studio X. So this is the studio description section, which is pretty important because this does show up on the SEO. So make sure you get something good in here, and it has to be around 200 characters, I believe. So make sure you get like at least like 2 lines in there. And then you select what type of studio you have. If you have a rehearsal space, select rehearsal space. If you offer podcast services, select podcast services, and then select the type of music studio that you are currently running. Either it's a home studio, mid-level, or top line. Select the minimum hours needed for a artist booking to go through. So, some studios have minimum 2 hours requirement, some has more. Select the max occupancy. If you don't have a limit, just put 10 plus people. Now, over here is the studio hours section, and you get to select, are you available 24/7 or do you have specific hours that you operate? If you want to set specific hours, click set daily availability, and you can set hours for each day like so. So for example, if you want to set Monday, you're open from a set time from say 3 p.m. to midnight. Select it like so, and then click update schedule. And we have not selected the day, so let's select Monday. And it's going to update right here. Tuesday, we are open 24 hours. Let's keep it like so. Wednesdays, if your studio is closed, you can set it like so. And then on Sunday, you have another specific hour that you're working from 4 p.m. to say midnight or 11 p.m. And then you click save selection. So this is the specific hours for your studio. If you have past clients that you have worked with, you can add them over here, right? So you can say a boogie. You can add more, separate them by commas. So Jay-Z and etc., etc., etc. If you have a SoundCloud link for your samples, you should add it over here. It could be SoundCloud, it could be Spotify, it could be YouTube. This is just for your sample links. After you fill all that information up, click next. And it's going to bring you to the features section. Over here, you get to select the amenities that your studio offers. So you can select, and if there's something not on the list that you have, you can always add it yourself. For example, pool table. For genres, you select which genres you specialize in. I suggest you select a few, but it's up to you what your preferences are. So hip hop, R&B, and let's just say jazz music. This is the genres that your studio specializes in. Instruments, And of course, if there isn't a genre that you don't see on the list, you can always add it. For example, soca. Add the equipment, instruments, type of computer you have, controllers, DAWs. Let's put Logic X Pro. Headphones, interfaces, microphone. So I'm just selecting random options here, but make sure you go ahead and select the ones that you have and type in the ones that are not showing, but you do have those. And then room options, you could select like the rooms that your studio has just to show on the front end, and then you click next. So for studio rules, add a few do's and don'ts for your studio. Stuff like respect others, respect all equipment, and put whatever your requirements are in here. Same thing with cancellation policy. Let's put a 24-hour notice required, and then click next. Once you get to the pricing section, you'll have these options to add pricing for podcast space, music studio, and rehearsal space. Since we selected all three options in our general info, rehearsal, podcast, and studio, we're able to access each tab here. But if we were to select only like 2 or 1, the other ones would be disabled and we would not be able to edit it because our studio does not offer that type of service. But since this studio offers all three, we're going to have to add pricing for all three details. Let's start with the music studio. First thing is the hour. For this studio, let's say the rate is about $50 an hour, and then you have the option to include an audio engineer or not include it. If it was included, you would not be able to add this pricing over here, right? So you can see this is disabled. You're not going to be able to select it. But if you don't select it, you can edit this information. So if you have a separate charge for a studio engineer, you can include it like so. $25 an hour and then $50 an hour for the room. This over here is this discount section. Now, most studios on our platform offer a discount for booking longer than 8 hours. So if you want to go ahead and include a discount for bookings that are longer than 8 hours, fill it up over here. So let's just say a 10% discount on booking longer than 8 hours. We also have the option to enable that discount for the session audio engineer as well. And then we have other services like mixing and mastering services. This can be a flat rate. So now, if you want to add a package that's not mentioned over here so far, you can click this button, add new services, and then you can name that service, and you can also add the rate, whether it be a flat rate or a per hour rate. For example, let's say, let's just call it a test package, right? And then we can make this package $10 an hour for this package. And then we also have another rate of, say, if the artists want to use the green room that you have in your building, you can add a green room package. And then if they want to use this, it'll be a $45 fixed price, and you click add. And then make sure you click save before you go to the next tab. So that's the save button, not the next button. Once you click that and the save prompt is shown, you can go to like the next room. So podcast space. And for the podcast space, let's say it's another $45 an hour. And let's say we add a discount of 15% for booking longer than 8 hours. And also we're going to add a package over here. Let's just say package number 1, whatever the name is, whatever the service is. And we'll add a flat rate of $200. Let's say this is an editing service, let's say editing or whatever options that you want to add here. And then we click add, and then again we click save. And we also have to add the rehearsal space. So let's go over here, add the rehearsal space. Let's say it's a $25 charge, and booking longer than 8 hours is a 15% discount, and then we click save. And then once all that's done, you can click next. This step over here is for the location of your studio. Now add the address for the studio. So we're going to add this studio is in the city and state We're going to add it in New York State, and the zip code is 10003. If this address is correct, it's going to take us to the next page. Over here, we do ask for you to submit minimum 2 photos, but you can add much photos as you want, and we strongly suggest you go for the maximum because it's better to show your studio off in many different angles, many different rooms. As much as you can show, it's going to benefit you. And then you click submit listing. Submitting the studio, and you should get a confirmation like so. And then once that's done, you click next, and it's going to bring you over here to your studio listing page. Over here, you get to see all the studios you've submitted to our platform. For this account, we've only submitted Studio X, and currently the status of that studio is pending. Reason being for that is that this account, we have not filled up the owner settings, we have not synced up the calendars, and we have not connected our Stripe account to receive payments. So the next few videos, I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and fill up your profile settings, which is very simple, how you can connect your Stripe account, and also how you can connect your calendars. Stay tuned for those videos.